With this effect. Hello everyone. Hello. Yes, I chose the trippy background because we are talking about magic mushroom, aren't we? Oh, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please tap the screen. What is this? It's telling me that like I can add more effect in this. Let me see. Maybe I should just take it off. Yeah, let's stay calm a little bit. I will put it back on after a little bit when we go into the story of the magic mushroom. You love the topic, yeah? It's gonna be a good topic. We're just gonna wait a few seconds for a few people to pop by, and then I'm just gonna start talking about magic mushrooms and how they can help you to in many levels of your life. And I recommend to people as well to watch the film that is called Fantastic Fungi. Hello, hi. That documentary that guy Paul something, he did this amazing documentary about magic mushroom and mushroom in general, that, you know, if you want to start to have an understanding of the matter, that film is really good. But what I can tell you historically wise about mushroom is that we come from mushrooms, meaning that it's thanks to fungi. I convinced you to get some? Go. So the old world is literally was able to create and evolve thanks to fungi. The fungi are those things that basically they recycle things. So when you have a body that is dying and the decomposition, I do not recommend you to do it alone. But in this episode of today, I will speak to you about everything, so you will have all the knowledge that you need if you want to do them. So, mushrooms. If you watch that documentary, which is called Fantastic Fungi, you can find it everywhere. They explain you that basically everything in the earth was possible thanks to the presence of the fungi, because they decompose and recompose matter. And for example, there are many studies that even explain you how mushrooms can suck out toxicity from things, even to water that is polluted. And anyway, in our intestine, in our own stomach, we have microbiome that are like yeast and candida. We have a lot of literally fungi in our own stomach, in our own skin as well. So essentially we are made of mushrooms and the whole earth. It's not my first time, but I am doing it in a more ritualistic way compared to when I was younger. And you take the mushrooms just to get a high and just to get crazy. And instead, mushrooms are sentient beings. One thing that people do not realize when we speak about mushrooms is that they are not animal and they're not a plant, but they're something in between. So when you eat a mushroom, you need to understand that you are not eating a plant, and yet you are not eating an animal, and you are eating the combination of the two. So mushrooms are sentient beings because they are interconnected in all the surface of the world. So yes, they can talk to each other. Yes, Chris. They create a full web of communication, and in nature there is literally every piece of grass there is a line of fungi underneath that connects it all. So so the mushrooms has been used since when we were monkeys, and mushrooms literally are the things that we have to be grateful for, because thanks to them we have the ecosystem and we have what we have today. And even in your own belly, as I said before, yeast and fungi and microbiome, it's still creating the environment that we need to survive. So mushrooms are medicines, and it's fascinating how the pharmaceutical industry, they do not take them in consideration as much when they are the base of everything, and they are connected, and they connect everything together. So when I was young, I used to do LSD or mushrooms just to have that feeling. But the more I grew up, and especially when I started to develop my spirituality and my connection with source, and the connection with plants, and the connection with everything that is alive, really, so the wind and the water, and when you develop that connection, you understand that there is much more behind mushroom. And people would say, oh, just mushroom. They speak out of ignorance. When I started to do those more ritualistic way of doing mushroom, which means that I take it in a tea, I write my intention before to take them, I ask them and I summon them, and I ask them to be shown things that I need. Everyone in a specific moment of their life, you have something that you want to understand, or something to understand more about yourself and the outside, where I'm going, what am I doing, am I in the right path, show me my blockages, show me what is holding me back. And the mushroom that I took the other day were called the golden teachers, and I know that their fame is because they are golden teachers. And if you have the strength, they take you into a journey, and this journey is intense and is not for the weak people. because they have a lot of knowledge, and it's like they drop bomb of knowledge, and you have to be ready to take certain, or to understand certain teaching, essentially. But anyway, when you take mushrooms, it's always good to research what type, and like the name of them, and what they are famous for, and what is their main area of topic, of discussion, let's say, because every plant is a teacher. It's the same for when you are dealing with like the peyote or the datura indica or the ayahuasca or whatever. It's a teacher, and of course these teachers have different area of specialities, let's say. No, it's recommended to do it with somebody, because you need some support. And now a micro dose is like 1 gram. A low dose, it's like 175, almost 2 grams. And then you have 3 grams if you want to have an intense experience, and then you can go up to 3 or 4. I know people that took 10. So, I mean, if you want to have the God portion. The God portion, it's the one that I did, and I took a lot, because the God portion is just you really almost getting so much intoxicated that you kind of lose yourself, and then in the losing of yourself you actually find yourself. And that's why when you do it, you feel like God, and when you manage to take it and reach the peak, and then coming down the other side, you feel like invincible, because the experience can be so intense that it's just a lot. You need to learn how to breathe. You need to be really able to connect with yourself, and like, it's like kind of when a woman gives birth, sometime the mushroom will like hit you with so much, and you need to be able to breathe, and you need to be able to connect with your heart and not with your mind, because the mind can just go in paranoia. You cannot trust your mind. The mushroom is not something that you do with the mind. The mind will just get you into trouble. The moment that you listen to this box when you are under mushroom, you're fucked, because that is our shadow, that is our enemy, this is the demon. The mind is the things that create deception. The mind is the thing that draw you away from spirit. Oh, thank you. And the heart is where you find the messages. The heart is what illuminates the stupidity of the mind. That's why during my trip, well, we're gonna get to that later, so let's speak about generically at the moment. So the mushroom allowed you to see why your mind is ill, why your mind is sick. Is not actually you, but is what you believe, is a kind of thought that you do. It's the shit that you project, is the stuff that your mind worries about. You are constantly anticipating. And so the mind become an instrument that is acting. The mind should be something that serves you. The mind should be something that you use to problem solve and to create. And instead, many people use the mind against them. They become slave of the mind. They become fearful of the mind, or they become simply slave of the mind. And whatever the mind says become reality, become true. They think, there are people that think that their thought is themselves. Like, we are not our thought. So we are not the mind. The mind is a tool, is a box that we have. And this box is meant to teach you things, and is meant to problem solve, and is meant to serve you. And instead we literally become a slave of the mind. The mind dictates everything. And so when you take mushroom, they will show you where your mind is fucking up, or they will show you in very intense way the loop that you put yourself into. White people speak about good trip and bad trip. A good trip is when you are able to see what they are showing you and understanding the lesson, and let it go and transcending it. And instead, when you have a bad trip, is because you failed you didn't listen to the mushroom, you didn't understand what they were trying to tell you. You just got caught up in a loop in your own head, and that loop is your worst nightmare. And this is why your mind is not working properly, is because they could be a golden teacher for you, but you are so paranoid and you are so depending and connected to your mind that this is whatever the mind says is law. And so a lot of people, especially the less spiritual you are, the more those kind of events or situation in which you take mushroom, or you try to approach any of those spiritual alteration of consciousness, you cannot handle it, because at some point you start to be fearful of dying, because this body sensation can be so strong that you feel like, oh my god, I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna die, or you just start to see negative stuff, or your own voice create the wrong trip, essentially. So oh, good. And so the mushroom allows you to see what are the malfunctioning, the loops, the fear, the beliefs, the separation, and you have to be ready to face those things. And when you see them, instead of getting scared of them, the mushroom will simply teach you how to let it go. So let go of this frustration, let go of this fear. What if you are about to die? What if you are about to die? What if you are about to die right now and you can do nothing to avoid it? Will you keep, oh, hello, Susan. Will you keep getting paranoid in a loop? Oh my god, I'm about to die, blah, 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 or you just gonna try and enjoy and lean into the pain and just let go of whatever perception, whatever fear, just surrender. So there are strong lessons, will be strong messages, the stuff that they will show you. That's why they're called the golden teacher, or there is many other names, and every names have a specific like topic of knowledge. So yesterday, 2 days ago, when I did it, they showed me a light, like they told me about being light-hearted, and I had some flashback on some moment of my life in which I was like in holiday with my family once, and they showed me a me that was very different, in a sense that in that moment I was really connected with my heart. I was light-hearted. I was light. I wasn't heavy. I wasn't too serious. I wasn't too overworried. I was truly enjoying the present moment, and they showed me that to tell me that I needed to go back more into that. And so I had these visions, and they told me this stuff. And then when the waves of when the effect was really strong, and I really struggled because my body was like overwhelmed. It was just too much going on, and my eyes were like and I couldn't. It was all a mess, and I kept seeing patterns of flower, and then pattern of the galaxies, and then there was a soup, a plate with a soup, and I went to walk towards there, and then the soup became space and galaxy, and so I was just having really hard time to like breathe, because I was having like hypervisual and a lot of body sensations, and all of a sudden then they started to tell me how to breathe. And so now we are not talking about chemical stuff. This is medicine. This is ancient medicine. Whoever that this is not about drugs. This is not drugs. This is different. They are sentient being mushrooms. So it's very different than anything else. And it's sacred. It's a sacred experience. And unfortunately, many people confuses normal drugs with magic mushrooms or mushrooms in general, and we are not talking about, it's not something that goes in the same category, unfortunately, so you cannot compare them. But and the another thing that I started to see was a lot of these ancient men and ancient people. They were really peculiar. They were, some were shamans, and some were like Celtic druids, and they had feather in their head, and they were on top of this kind of tropical volcano, and I was around this volcano, and it was hot, and we were just sitting there, and they were taking those mushrooms, and they were healing each other with music and dances, and they were holding each other's hands, and the guy one of the ancient people kept blinking at me and told me that I've done this many times, and Huma have done this many times, and what I saw, it was literally written in the DNA of the mushroom, that is like, that it's universal knowledge. It's not that I saw something that I imagined. I saw something that we have been doing for thousands and thousands since the beginning of time. I see a ritual that has been passed on generation after generation since the beginning of time. The primary way in which we we used to heal the problem of the spirit in our society. And those stories are not lost, and often when you take them, you will be reminded of what was and what you were, and how many times you did it too in another life, in another timeline. We do it all the time. Each one of us is doing it, even not if it's not in your time, like somewhere in the spectrum of reality, there is a version of you that is doing it. I know this sounds crazy, but it's like this. And the stupidity was that when we deal with the pharmaceutical company, or we deal with the doctors, and they are so easy to prescribe things, for example, that are even bad, like with medicine with opio in it, medicine that have like strong narcotics, and yet it's so hard for them to use mushroom, and the reason is that because they don't want you to know the power of the mushroom. But the problem is that this power cannot be hidden, because again, the stories are imprinted in them. So as long as those mushrooms are around, they will be eaten, people will see, and people will remember what we were, how we functioned in the past, when we knew how to really heal our soul, and we knew how to heal through plant medicine and through mushrooms. So it was insane, because I saw these people and they were smiling at me, and they were very ancient future human, because those ancient, we call them ancient people, is our future, because we are going back there. And I know that this takes a bit of time for comprehension, but we were more evolved when we were dealing and curing our spirit through ancient plants, and we regressed during this time in 2022. If from a technological point of view we might be advanced, you think, the truth is that we regressed, because we regressed in a sense that we lost connection with the oneness, we lost connection with spirit. We became heartless robotic creature that stands in queues and do not look at each other and have distance, and they all look at their phone. Like, we regressed. So when I mean that I saw ancient people, in reality I saw our past and future, because it's there that we have to go back to. Wise human are not the human that you see walking around today. Wise human are the human that wants to go back to spirit and go back to a sacred life, in which everything was very slow and very sacred. The way you eat, the way you put intention before to do things. It's not an erratic world like the one that they forced us into, running around, always doing, without knowing why or how, and then you ended up with diseases, depression, and your soul is it's sad, and people are like, I wonder why. Well, because you're not living as a human, you're living as a machine, my friend. So don't wonder why you are unhappy. It's because we live in totally misalignment with who we are, essentially, and like how we are actually meant to function. So they taught me how to breathe during this moment that I was really overwhelmed, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And they came in and they showed me how to breathe, and then they even told me that they suggest me to take mushroom if in the future I have to give birth. Now, I don't know why they told me that. I haven't gone researching it yet, but this came during my trip. They literally told me that when I have to give birth, I could take some mushrooms to help me. And I was like, all right, okay, cool. I'm not pregnant right now, so, but I don't know why they told me that. And then, we went in this volcano tropical island, and there was just lava and heat and palms, and everyone was taking mushrooms, and these people were like with feather on their head, and some people were like half tree and half human. and they were trying to tell, like they were welcoming me, and then at some point during my trip I kept going like this because they were literally like, they made me part of a memory, or they made me see ancient rituals, and I was there. And at some point they all look at me, one of them blinked at me, and I was just like very grateful for being like yeah, to be there and to be honored with that knowledge, because they showed me so many things, patterns of sacred geometry and just colors, and I think I even saw myself in a man shaman form of some sort. But no, that is not during pregnancy, is to give birth, in the hour of giving birth. Because you are already in pain, and you are already in so much pain, and I think that the mushroom can do something about it. But I don't know, this is just something that I received during my trip, so I will still have to research it. And so nothing. The all of this to say that sometimes we look for the solutions in wrong places, and sometimes we define ourselves very evolved species, and we are always looking for the newest remedy, or the newest medicine, or the newest trendiness, or the newest. And sometimes the answer lies in old ways, never wrong old methods, or this the knowledge and the sacrality of mushroom. I think it will have to be mandatory real soon, before any antidepressant pill could be prescribed. I think everyone should go and have a mushroom trip. So I recommend it. And there are many types, and you can always start by microdosing, and that just boost your happiness, and you see color more brightly. And then if you feel like you want to try one of my, I'm thinking about creating like a little retreat in which I will be guiding some I want to start to do some ceremonial mushroom and guiding people. So because I know a lot about how to deal with them, how to handle them, and like how to help people that maybe are a bit afraid or whatever. I know that I could lead and help many people in that sense. So if you are in UK, I will soon be creating one mushroom retreat, so that we can do it in a very ceremonial way, with like sofa and fruits and water and just nature and connection. And honestly, this proof is always in this documentary that I was talking to you about, which is called Master Yogi. you have to lose the mind. If you keep the mind, you will never go into a spiritual place. So the mind needs actually to be lost. But what was I saying? I got lost. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the retreat. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, mushrooms are well, probably around the south of England, between London and Brighton, I think. But yeah, I know that a lot of people could feel like very, very, it's almost like a rebirth experience. And sometimes when shit hit the fan, having something like that can be really helpful. UK. What else did I wanted to speak about? Well, we are already in the ascension path. We have been receiving a lot of energy. We are shifting and we are seeing constantly like the brighter perspective, and we are letting go everything that doesn't serve us, and the matrix and the Maya, the illusion, is becoming really thin. We are basically almost all awake right now. There are waves that keep happening, waves of spiritual awakening and people that connect the dots. And very soon we will witness the gathering of the tribe, which means that we will see finally this human, ancient human coming back. We are coming back. The wise human are coming back, and we are going to literally create a parallel world in this earth, and we will live in community, and we will totally be not controlled by the media, by the government, and by our mind, but we will come back in brain and heart coherence. So yeah, I was just very, very grateful to the golden teacher, to this specific type of mushroom, and I felt really connected, even more than what I usually feel. And it was absolutely insane how it's like we have something like that and it's not mandatory. Actually, is illegal in most places. The golden teacher is a mushrooms master yogi. I don't think you're a master yogi. But yeah, the is literally the base of everything, and I recommend you again to watch that fungi, the fantastic fungi, that documentary, that will really, really give you a good perspective of what a mushroom is. And then after that, I can tell you that so many problems in this society could be fixed by mushrooms, and not only hallucinogenic one, but also normal mushrooms. So Master Yogi, what can you see? I doubt you can see through yourself. But right on, if you see right through me, then good for you. Yeah, it's a great documentary, and it really explains you and show you like what a mushroom is, honestly, because people are confused. People are confused. People think, oh, a mushroom is a plant, and it's not. And their capabilities and their characteristics and like their even nutritional value, like I take supplement of non hallucinogenic mushrooms, like normal mushrooms, and even the magic mushroom though, you right away when I take them, just everything come back like 10 times better. Like after a mushroom trip, my hair are better, my skin is better, my eyes are more fucking clear. I feel more connected, I feel more grounded, I eat less. It's like when you take mushrooms and like you try to approach food, something changes in a way that you are really like, it is almost like you eat an ananas or a papaya or a pineapple for the first time. It's so, and then when you come down from the trip, and sometimes you need one or 2 days of recovering because it's that intense, but you can taste 100 times better. You taste better. You don't need as much quantity, and it's like your tongue get in ecstasy, and it's like, but it's just a strawberry, or but it's just a pineapple, it's just a banana. Yeah, it's just a banana, but when everything got refreshed and renewed and stimulated, and when you connect to source fully like that, then normal things are not normal anymore. And that's why you become, if you see the faces of people that do magic mushroom often, they have a lot of similarity, these people, because these people, they become really skinny, they don't eat much, they get into fasting, and they're really intentional with their food, and they bless the food, and every bite is like treated like it's the bite of the life, it's, and something shifts, a lot of things shift in the outside and the inside of you. And I still cannot believe that, yeah, most places and most countries have the braveness to declare it illegal. It's we should be ashamed of this. Like, we should be totally disgusted about how the system works, because this is ancient medicine. This is something that belongs to us, and it cannot be taken away. And we need to learn as well to go out of our comfort zone sometime, and we need to be brave and do things and not regretting things. You will never regret, you know. But I know people that they go all their lives and they're like, no, I'm afraid of mushroom, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that. And it's like, cool. Live your life in fear. Live your life afraid. Live your life always in your comfort zone. It will not take you far. It will take you in your comfort zone. It will take you there where you are comfortable. It will take you there where you are safe. And yet you will miss out in so much more. So much more. yeah, ancestor knew how to heal, but we are the ancestor. We know how to heal. We actually, not only we know, we still have the mushroom that reminds us how to. So, I mean, and they are out there in nature that we will never get rid of this ancient knowledge, this ancient medicine. No matter who put it in legal, we will never lose it. It will always be there. It will always be in the mushrooms. So that's why that belongs to us and is impossible to, no matter how much the matrix and the system modified our food, our vegetables, our plants, they couldn't prevent, like they cannot control mushrooms because they are everywhere and they connect everything and they contain this sacred knowledge. So um when I take mushrooms, I love to put very like spiritual music with like shaman drums or Indian vibes. Um, and I like to create the space in a very like, it has to be really soft lights and very comfortable and have everything you need. If you're thirsty, if you're hungry, if you need fruit, mostly you need fruit. So mostly you need juicy fruit. So pineapple and apples and strawberries or berries and water and maybe teas, hot teas, and and yeah, it was a very beautiful journey, and it got I got shown a lot of things, and it's almost like I cannot wait to do a next round. I think I will do a next round next week probably. But yeah, I just really needed to talk about all of this. I will upload this live on YouTube if people arrived late and you didn't miss all the mushroom. And yeah, so I was saying you can find on Google, you can find on Google the dosages. Anyway, 1 gram is a microdosing, 2 gram is like a low dose, and then moderate you can go to 3, I think, and then the god portion it's like 4 to 5 or 6 grams, and that is the full on fucking god experience. When you do that, you literally feel like god afterwards. You see, I handled that. Like I can handle everything in life, believe me. Like it's just mind blowing. But yeah, you can always start with, very slow. 1 gram, and then slowly you increase it until you feel that you can take it. But often I recommend to have like a guided experience. So I will try to organize a retreat very soon, to do this together, so that I can help and you have somebody that helps you in case you start to see everything bad. Or so it's always recommendable to have somebody that can guide you and somebody that can help you, especially if it's your first time. And instead, if you are used to, you're cool. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's legal. Yeah, but which is the most stupid thing ever. But anyway, so we're talking about a mushroom, and like, yeah, it's still considered class A drugs. But it's like, yeah, whatever. Well, you can go in the forest as well. Just be careful to be safe, essentially. But yeah, you can do it in the forest. Oh my god, I'm so sleepy. Anyway, I'm so happy that I spoke to you about my experience, and if you have any question, you can DM me or send me a message. And I will put this video on my YouTube, and as well, if you feel called to, remember to do it with somebody, and remember that there is nothing to fear, because it will simply open your eyes to the oneness and the unity consciousness that we are, and you will be connected literally to a stream of knowledge that are universal, which is pretty cool. Yes, I have been in my mystical world for quite a while. I've been like, yeah, I haven't been present a lot on TikTok or in my platform, and I'm sorry for that. But you know, we all have our stuff outside the social media. Master Yogi, you are really like, what are you talking about? How many questions have you got? You guys make me laugh. You've been as well in your path. I'm glad. Have you been finding any like problem lately, frustration, or do you feel quite empowered? Do you feel good? Do you feel like thriving, excited for life? How are my people doing? Oh, you missed my live. I know. I've been so bad. I've been so bad. I've been really, really absent. But sometime I pop by. Book, like a mushroom. Just popping up once in a while. Yeah, I feel so. Maybe he's a master of yogurt, not yogi. I mean, I have not understood one of his question. Will he be able to heal my sister? It depends. What does she have? Anyway, don't get some weird god complex, yeah? How is Caitlin? Is it your imaginary friend? I don't know who Caitlin is. Anyway. Body hurts like you read about. Yeah, well, our body is going through some upgrades in this moment, because we are anchoring this new energy. In order to anchor this new energy that are coming in, there is a lot of stuff that we need to like physically, heaviness and density that needs to be shed from the body. That's why I always recommend, and I do it very often in my day, to stretch out, do some yoga, try to eat mostly fruit and like foods that are light and full of water, to help like draw the toxins out. Practice some fasting, really help to reduce inflammation and pain. So fruit, fasting and movement, yoga or walks or stretching, so that we can help our body. Because again, I know a lot of people, they just complain about, oh, I've got pain. And yes, it's true, we have we are receiving an upgrade, we are receiving a, like this, it's normal to feel pain, but we can help our body. So we can help by doing simple things, you understand? Upgrade means that we are moving into a new earth right now. There are multiple timelines. Some people are choosing to stay in the old timelines. So some people are choosing to stay in the old earth, and other people are choosing to stay in the new earth. People who want to evolve, people who want to help, people who see the light, people who see a different planet, people who can see us going back to ancient knowledge, the golden era. We are going there. So whoever is taking the tickets that take you to new earth or the new era, we are receiving a physical upgrade because our body cannot hold on to negativity anymore. Okay, can somebody kick Master Yogi out or block him, please, Chris? Because this is going crazy. And yeah, so we are being bombarded by this new energy, and there has been a strong shift. If you notice that you've been a little bit more more positive than usual, you have been a little more centered as well, grounded, and you are creating like the reality of your dreams is slowly coming in for you. You are attracting things. It means that we are all moving to this new earth, and that's great. Yes, we are manifesting way quicker than usual. Lemuria now coming into this new world. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's very simple to, I mean, it looks over confusing, but it's not. It's actually very simple, okay? There was a point in time in the past that we were extremely advanced, even though the normal history book tells you that we were not. There was a lie, there was a little misinformation there. There were a moment in life in which we were in a golden era. We were really connected with spirit. We were connected with our own powers, the power that most human beings forgot in this point in time. We had gifts, we have power, we were connecting to spirit, we were having ceremonial medicine plant to heal our soul. We were living in ancient Lemuria, for example. So we were proper human being. And then what happened is that we got made slave. There was aliens coming in our territory, and they created the illusion of the mind. That's why a lot of knowledge simply got forgotten. It's almost like we've been wiped away from who we are and our gift and our ability and our connection with the oneness and the unity consciousness. And the system and the matrix deleted all those information, and they raised us with wrong information at the school. Telling you the wrong history and just wrong things. But now the amnesia is fading, the veil is really thin. The memory is coming back, and we are coming back to ancient future knowledge, which is we this knowledge is eternal, is infinite, is always been there. It's just if you are able to tap into it or not. And in the past, we used to be able to do that really easy, and then we got pushed away from spirit, we got pushed away from the paranormal, we got pushed away in fear, and from religion, brainwashed, and all the rest. And now we are just remembering who we are, and we are going back to the future past, essentially. A mushroom necklace? No, it's not a mushroom necklace. People, are you seeing mushroom now, even where there is none? No, it's not a mushroom. Yes, we are going back to Atlantis and Lemuria. We are already here. The prince and the priest, the princess and the prince and the priestess, and we are all coming. We are all back online. We are not asleep anymore. We are all coming back. Namaste. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that you got something nice out of it. I hope you have. Tell me a yes if you have. And I will simply upload this beautiful live about mushroom on my YouTube, and you can go and check it out. And make sure you check my link if you want to book one-to-one session with me, or check my meditation in Insight Timer, and enjoy the rest of the night. Okay? And if you have any question before I go, I'm here. Oh, thank you, Steve. Cool. I'm really, really glad. Amazing. Well, enjoy the beautiful night. Mwah. Love you. Do you take acid too? I used to. I don't need to take acid anymore. Mushrooms are the plant medicine that I love to go to mostly. Sweet dream. Bye bye.